Mark Levin, the angriest man on the planet, and very, very nasally man. He's a very nasally man, if I don't say so myself. Now, I'm not hating. I sort of live in a glass house. I know my voice is not the nicest, smoothest voice out there. But this dude was talking to the Fox and Friends people about the Supreme Court overturning Roe versus Wade, and really more talking about the leak than the overturning of Roe versus Wade, because this is their dodge now. They just got handed the biggest win for social conservatism in my lifetime. And instead of, like, taking a victory lap or being happy for 2 seconds, they immediately flip it and play the victim and act like it's an egregious assault on our civility and our norms and our traditions and our laws that there was a leak. A leak! We got facts and information a little earlier than we otherwise would have. www.whocares.net. .net. Like, who cares? Who cares? These guys, it's always the same shit. It's process. When they don't have a substantive thing to say, it's all process criticism. They did the same shit with the Pentagon Papers back in the day. They did the same shit with Edward Snowden's leaks, where he was like, hey, your government's illegally spying and unconstitutionally spying on all of you. And they were like, oh, but that was classified information. They're doing that shit now, too. So anyway, Mark Levin is talking about this issue. And he's going to take a random, unnecessary side shot at Bernie Sanders here. And this got under my skin. I'll talk about it as we go.
This is a grave assault on the Supreme Court. When I was in law school,
Grave assault on the Supreme Court to just leak the opinion a little early. Grave assault. Ain't no grave, ain't no assault.
Actually an intern to Chief Justice Warren Burger. I saw how it operated. And I can tell you, this institution takes its confidentiality seriously. Why? That's the coin of the realm. They've got to be able to talk about ideas freely. They got to be able to discuss this without political pressure.
It is all inherently political. It is all inherently political. They got to do this without political pressure. They got to be able to talk about these ideas. Go ahead. Go ahead. Talk about the ideas. And then if we hear about what you're saying, that's great. An informed electorate. That's wonderful. This idea, these people love to trot out this notion of, like, the Supreme Court's got to be, like, apolitical. Pfft, us, bro, we're just about the law and the Constitution. We don't do politics. That is inherently political by its very nature. There's no way for it not to be political. This is so frustrating.
People think these are lifetime appointments. And, of course, the Democrat Party is destroying this country. Look at
his standard tap dance. The Democrat Party's destroying this country. He's a one-trick pony. He has one note, and he goes to it all the time.
Confirmation process. It started with Bork. The Democrats targeted him under Kennedy and Biden. And it moves on to others, including Clarence
Bork was a psycho, by the way.
Thomas, including
Clarence Thomas is a psycho, by the way.
Kavanaugh. Republicans don't
Same with Kavanaugh.
treat Democrat nominees this way. They may have...
Bullshit, of course they do. Of course they do. They ideologically disagree. They were just smearing Ketanji Brown Jackson. They were saying that she's basically, like, soft on child porn. They're soft on, like, child predators. Now, it turns out, when you do a little digging into that issue, you find out it's totally not true. And other judges in the same situation as her either ruled the same way as her or ruled more leniently than her. So this idea that she's just, like, soft on child porn, the idea that they don't do, like, character assassination, of course they fucking do. Grow up. This is politics. Now, I wish everything was always substantive, but it's not, because of people like you, Mark Levin. You guys go down in the gutter.
Object to them. When you say the Supreme Court doesn't look like America, you're undermining the credibility of the court. And so this is a war on our system.
The court undermines the credibility of the court all the time. It's a common occurrence. Whenever they make decisions, right or wrong, by the way, whenever they make decisions that go against the overwhelming majority of the country, they are undermining themselves by their very nature, because people want them to have less power, look at them more skeptically when they make decisions like that. It's happened a number of times in the Supreme Court's history. Now, with this issue, Roe versus Wade, it's about 70% of the country in some polls that say don't overturn Roe versus Wade. 70%. Only 19% of the country wants to ban abortion in all circumstances. Only 19%. That's the side they're falling on because Roe versus Wade makes it so that if all the red states want to, they can just fully ban abortion, all abortions. So that 19% is what's going to get a win. They are undermining themselves with this idea.
System of government, you see immediately Bernie Sanders, who really hates this country as far as I'm concerned. Does he ever say anything good about the country?
He hates the country. He never says anything good about the country. He hates the country. Now, hold on now. I remember when a guy named Donald Trump ran for office. He would say, our country's a mess. We're like a third world country. You fly into one of our airports and it's disgusting. Everything's broken down. It's gross. I want to make America great again. Again. To make it great again means what? It's not great right now. It's a mess right now. We're like a third world country. He said that a million times. A million times. Our inner cities are disgusting. He said these things all the time. Now, when Donald Trump says those things, is it a fair rebuttal to say, this guy just hates America, bro? No, it's not. And if any Democrat were to say that to him when he says those things, I'd be like, that's really stupid. Because the point of criticizing those things is like, hey, here's how I think we should make it better. Here's how my ideology, if implemented, would make it better. Now, Trump's ideology I don't happen to agree with, so I don't think he would make it better, and he didn't make it better, okay? But from his perspective, he thinks, I'm going to make it better. So when Bernie Sanders talks about our country, and he has many criticisms, he's saying those things to try to improve it, to try to make it better. Why would you try to make the country better? Out of love for this country. Out of love for this country. Wanting to make the country better for the American people. So they're happier and healthier and have a higher quality of life. He's not even willing to concede that basic point. I'm an adult, so I'm willing to do that. With any, like, if I'm in a vociferous, vehement, red-faced argument with somebody on the right, still, at the heart of the conversation is, I understand they're trying to give me their perspective as how to make the country better. I don't agree with their ideas, but they're saying what they think would make the country better, whereas I'm saying what I think would make the country better. If you just shut it down and act like, no, you just hate the country. So everything you're doing out of malice to actively make the country worse. That's just total hack shit. It's total partisan shit. I can't believe anybody would listen to this and think, oh, Mark Levin is spitting facts here. He's just a weaselly little partisan hack. That's all he is. Like, there's no substance here at all. Run that back a little bit.
So this is a war on our system of government. You see immediately Bernie Sanders, who really hates this country as far as I'm concerned. Does he ever say anything good about the country? When you see Bernie Sanders issue a tweet or a statement saying, now basically on to the Senate, we have to get rid of the filibuster rule. So they want to take out two institutions with one stone.
Now, why would Bernie want to get rid of the filibuster? He wants to get rid of the filibuster to make the Senate more small d Democratic. So 51 votes beats 49 votes. That is a perfectly reasonable position. Now, right now, Mark Levin disagrees with that. Why? Because Democrats control the Senate. If Democrats didn't control the Senate, he'd be totally fine with eliminating the filibuster. He'd be arguing for it because he wants Republicans to get through their ideas. So, but the idea that it's not a debatable issue, like, of course it's a debatable issue. Putting Roe versus Wade aside, the filibuster is massively debatable. It's super debatable. So, but he acts like, no, that's just crazy, and it stems from the fact that he hates the country. To make it more democratic so that the politicians can represent more accurately the will of the people? To make a majority vote actually win? Oh, God. I don't even know why I bother doing shit like this, guys. I don't know why I bother responding to guys like this.
When you see that press release that Schumer and Pelosi put out, they're real out there trying to politicize their base, trying to rev up the...
It's inherently political. Roe versus Wade is inherently political. You're trying to politicize it in the other direction. Like...
the voters for November. These are disgusting people who are not statesmen, who put their party before their country.
What do you do? What do you do? We all know the answer to that.
We become the United States of the Democrat Party, not the United States.
We're the United States of the Democrat Party. The party that currently has the presidency, the Senate, and the Congress, and is doing Dickie McGee's acts with it. Nothing. Bupkis. Nothing. We're the United States of the Democratic Party. The Washington Generals, who perpetually lose time and time again, who had a supermajority in the Obama years and didn't codify Roe into law even though they could have. We're now the United States of the Democratic Party. The people who perpetually lose are somehow the strongest, and they're the man, and you need to stick it to the man. It's unbelievable. They just got the biggest win in the world. They're acting like they lost. All right, just a little bit more of this. I can't take much more.
Of America. So this person who's leaked, it's very interesting. I was talking to my wife about this last night. This person who leaked will be considered an iconic civil rights type person.
They are. What do you want me to tell you? Like, Chelsea Manning, iconic. Edward Snowden, iconic. Julian Assange, iconic. Actually releasing information that is leaking and blowing the whistle on what's going on in the real world, that's great. Now, if this person didn't leak it, we would have learned about it in a couple months anyway, right? But it's still good. More facts are better than fewer facts. And by the way, I'm consistent on this. If there was a leak that showed some decision was going to go in a left direction, if there was a chorus of Democrats who were like, my institutions, my civility, my norms, I'd be like, shut up, who cares? Let's talk about the actual substance of the thing and not have a meta conversation about, should we even really be able to see this, bro? It seems wrong that we could see this stuff.
Whether this person's a lawyer and loses their bar degree or not, their law degree, they will...
By the way, there's an assumption it was definitely somebody on the Democratic side who released it. I think it's likely it was somebody who was on the Democratic side who released it, like a staffer who leans left. But it's possible it's not. It's possible it's not.
Will make a fortune writing books. They will make a fortune going on different circuits, talk circuits. Maybe they'll even be...
leakers and whistleblowers have, they get really great treatment in this country. Just ask Snowden and Assange.
Focused on by CBS Sunday Morning with the birds in the background and the flowers.
Okay, I can't take it anymore. Anyway, guy's a moron. He viciously went after Bernie Sanders and said he hates the country. He's so outraged at the fact that there was a leak of actual information that has now been authenticated. I mean, how can you take people like this seriously? They're not even talking about the issue itself, the issue of Roe versus Wade. Because you know what? They probably know only 19% of the country agrees with them. So they don't want to lean into their unpopular thing, so they totally obfuscate and change the conversation to, my norms, my civility, no more leaks. Shut up, Mark, for the love of God. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.